In a world with reboots, one thing we never asked for was a Maze Runner reboot. So 20th Century Studios is developing a new installment of the action franchise based on the James Dashner books. Runner was a trilogy of movies starring Dylan O'Brien and Kaya Scodelario. I think it was a modest hit. It generated around 348 million worldwide and only cost about 35 million to make, the original movie. So that's a big win. So I could definitely see why they potentially want to reboot this, although we are in a different landscape now. The Maze Runner came out when these YA dystopian novels were all being adapted due to the popularity of the Hunger Games. So it'll be interesting to see how this reboot will fare. Now, according to sources, the reboot is not a redo of the story, nor is it a direct sequel to the original trilogy. The hope is to sort of make a continuation of the story, yet also return to the elements that made the first movie connect with its audience. The first movie definitely stands on its own as something quite intriguing. They're in a maze, while the second and third movies, it was like basically a zombie apocalypse type movie. I read the first book and I watched the first movie, enjoyed it, watched the second and third films, didn't read the second and third novels, but actually still as a whole, really enjoyed the trilogy.
I really enjoyed these. I think they're a lot of fun. I have read all the books. I don't really remember the books. I read them when I was like 12. I do think when people think of the Maze Runner, they think of the maze. And I think that is the most interesting movie and the most intriguing part of the story because it is quite unique. And I'm interested to see what they're going to do with it.
Definitely, it could be maybe a prequel. Maybe it's the first group of people in a maze and going in there, because it's kind of like the Hunger Games. You could do different groups of characters and how they react to certain situations or something like that.
Yeah, well, we do know from the books and movies that there were other mazes.
Exactly.
There's one for like all of like the Maze Runner we know all boys. There's one that's all girls. So there are definitely lots of things to explore with that.
Let us know in the comments if you're excited for this reboot to happen. It's not the same story, a different story involving the maze, I am sure. So let us know in the comments. My name is Michelle.
I'm Samantha.
And this is Book Clubbers, keeping you updated on the latest books, book news, adaptations, topics, and drama.